We're live from Arrow Arena for an OCC basketball action between the Ashland Arrows and the Lexington Minutemen. But before that happens, we have senior night here. Dan Chandler is going to announce all of the seniors here in the winter sports. We'll go dark and let you enjoy festivities.
Next up is
Welcome to Aero Arena. You're joining us on the Ashland Aeros Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving. I'm Chris Bowery. I'll bring Brandon Wells in here in a second. Tonight's game, as always, brought to you by Headstrom Entertainment, having unplugged fun for over 100 years, and this is the countdown to tip-off, presented by Ashland Eye Care. Proud AHS alum Dan Denbo will handle all your vision needs. Senior night here, BW, a lot of fun. It's always cool to recognize and pay homage and due respect to these seniors here inside Aero Arena.
Yeah, senior night's always a tough one as a player and as a coach, because you have to figure out, all right, I'm putting a little different lineup out there. I got a little different arrangement. How long am I going to run with that? What do I want to do if things are going well? What have I told my seniors? How long I'm going to play with them? So, and you know, it doesn't hurt or help really for the Aeros that you're playing the best team in the OCC and one of the best teams in the region. So you have a little margin for error tonight, Chris.
The Ashland Aeros come in with a record of 10-7, 5-5 in the OCC, and that team that Brandon is references is Lexington. And they come in with a 16-3 record and a 10-1 record in the OCC. And the truth of the matter is, they win in IBW, they cut down the nets, as they will be outright OCC champions. Hey, we're back to the pre-Steno broadcast booth, and we're back to the Wickham and Hess pregame guest, and that is none other than the News Journal's Jake Furr. This was something that wasn't on Jake's bingo card when he woke up this morning, was going to join us as our pregame guest. We're super happy to have you. Thanks for coming up, Jake.
Yeah, not a problem, guys. I appreciate you coming down and grabbing me. I don't have to take pictures tonight, so
that's awesome.
Hey, man, I'll make my rounds. I'm cool up here.
This is going to work out really well. So I was curious, before I turn it over to Brandon, he's the question guy.
What does that mean?
Who's the class of the field in your mind here, regionally or locally, you know, outside of the OCC even, that you would say in the region has probably got a good chance to go and make a nice run in the tournament?
You know, I think whoever kind of comes out of this Division III district is obviously going to be a pretty good favorite, especially going to, you know, that Toledo regional and stuff. You know, Lexington is pretty darn good. I think they have, you know, like 7 guys who are just really phenomenal. They play really unselfish basketball. They shoot it really well. You know, senior high, Mansfield Senior High, you always have to kind of watch out for the Tigers when it comes to tournament time, because they can beat anybody. You know, and Ashland, you know, I think Ashland gave Senior High a pretty good ball game over there. Took them into overtime, so you can't really count Ashland out at all, especially if they make 19 threes in a game they did against Massillon. You know, anybody else that they play, I think they win that game pretty handedly. But you know, it's going to be a really fun Division III district. I think it's really top heavy. There's 4 really darn good teams in that one.
Well, what do you think about the new realignment this year? 7 divisions. It's just it's a lot different than what we all grew up with, and even what most of these guys grew up with.
Yeah, I'm always a fan of it. I mean, I always like giving kids more opportunities to, you know, experience those district championship runs, because those are some, I don't care if it's, you know, if the district is weak and, you know, it was kind of handed to them and you get a buy into the district semifinal, whatever. Like, those are memories that are never forgotten. Those are things you really hang your hat on. Those are things that kind of help you through your adulthood, and, you know, you look back on those successes and you're real happy with those. So I'm all for giving kids a lot more opportunities, and helps those small schools out too. That's one big thing that I like, is seeing small school success. I came from a small school, so anytime you get those really tight-knit communities together and throw a long tournament run is always special.
You guys had how did you guys do in the tournament? I remember with Brooke. Weren't you with Brooke Turson? You guys had a decent run, right?
So Brooke was, he was a sophomore when I was a senior. We made a run to the regionals.
Yeah.
Won a district championship. My sophomore year, we won the first district championship in school history.
It's pretty awesome.
You know, we had, I think it was my brother's senior year. We had like 6 seniors on there, and then I was in there with a sophomore. I was kind of the first one off the bench. So it's, you know, always a lot of fun. I'll never forget those tournament games. I mean, those are some things that, you know, I still look back on and I'm really happy with, and talk to the guys about, and just, you know, say we accomplished some special things. So
how does this game impact the draw, which is Sunday, for the OHSAA draw? How do you think this would impact one way or the other? You know, what's at stake here tonight?
I don't think there's a whole heck of a lot at stake. I think Lexington has the number 1 seed kind of locked up. Win or lose here, I think they still have enough points there to keep that number 1 seed. I think Sandusky's a pretty solid 2 seed. Senior High playing Worcester might get a little bit more points, but I think they're pretty well locked in at 3, and Ashland's at 4. So I don't think there's going to be a whole heck of a lot of movement. I know Sandusky plays Tiffin Columbian tonight.
Oh yeah.
So that may have a little bit, but I think that the point system-wise, I think it's pretty well basketball lock this late in the season.
Well, we never get far away from football in Ohio, right? That never happens.
I knew it was coming.
Absolutely. It's my favorite sport to watch and cover. We've got 3 Division I athletes that are going to be in the starting lineups here today. 2 of them are not committed. Joe Connell is committed to the Smarties. He's going to be Go Smarty Go. Brayton Fogel's got offers from Michigan and Georgia and some places. Bernie has got, you just saw him flush one down there. Bernie's got offers up and down the eastern seaboard, it seems. How rare is that? You've been around sports, all these schools around, that you see 3 Division I football players on the floor at one time.
Yeah, I mean, I've covered sports for about 10 years, just doing it in the newspaper business, and I haven't run into this kind of talent pool, I guess. Mansfield Senior in that run in 2019 had a lot of really good guys with Angelo Gross, and he's at Michigan State, or he's going to be in the draft now. Anthony Hawkins is going to the draft. So since 2019, even Kate Stover's senior year in 2018, I think that's really when it started in this area of college coaches coming in and kind of plucking these kids out and being like, these are some pretty darn good athletes. So it's awesome to see, and I love it. Anytime we get a local kid who's given a big opportunity, it's always fun for me to cover them and talk to them and just be like, hey, your life is a little bit different, and it's going to be different moving forward. So.
Jake, we would be remiss if we didn't ask you about the News Journal Classic, the All-Star Game. Tell us about that, how people can get involved, whether that's being a sponsor, fundraising, and what the proceeds are going to.
Yeah, the game is going to be March 28th over at Lexington High School. We got a really good pool of players, a lot of good shooters this year. So that the game benefits every single penny. We don't, like, the News Journal keeps no dollars whatsoever. We give it all to the Child and Adolescent Mental Health Department over at Catalyst Life Services.
Awesome.
Anytime you can kind of help kids get that help they need. We've seen a lot of kids with struggle with suicide thoughts and all that stuff. So that's going to help families out big time. Last year, I think we raised over $16,000.
That's great.
Which was the most that the game has ever done. It's our 46th year of doing this game. It's anytime we can help out kids like that, but it's going to be a fun game, really cool environment. I played in it when I was a senior, so it's really kind of special to my heart that I get to organize it now after John Spencer did it for so many years.
Here's your first donation towards that game.
I appreciate that.
You're absolutely welcome.
You're showing me up, Chris.
Go right to
No, it's okay.
You're just showing me up. So how do people
great.
get involved as far as donating or fundraising?
Yeah, you can go on Catalyst Life Services on their website. There's a Donate Now section on the top right, and you can go in there and choose to donate to the News Journal All-Star Classic. And we have sponsorships available. If you go on Facebook, you'll find the sponsorship page. A bunch of different ways businesses can get involved. And like I said, the money goes towards hosting a really, really cool banquet that we have at Meadowwood, the Meadowwood Center out in Belleville. It's a beautiful, beautiful venue. But we bring the guys in, feed them, host their families, give them a little talk, and make it kind of really special. We get their jerseys. We get, we try to make this game awesome for the guys to remember. And any business that wants to get involved, reach out to me. jfur@gannett.com. You can give me an email.
We got a similar program here inside Ashland High School, I should say. It's called Arrow Mentoring.
Yeah.
Both of my kids are involved in it. I absolutely love it. I plug it every time I get a chance. It's very similar. You got the juniors and seniors that are mentoring down the 4th, 5th, 6th graders.
That's
and
awesome.
trying to steer them on the right path, and they look up to these guys and gals. So it's really awesome. And what you're doing is really good. And we've kept it going with what John Spencer created many, many years ago. It's really awesome. Jake Furr from the News Journal joins us. We'll be right back on the Grease Dental broadcast booth in the Ashland Eye Care pregame show right after this.
The official watch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in the bar area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland, steaks, seafood, hand-patted burgers, vegetarian options, salads, and a huge kids menu. Something for everyone in a completely renovated, historic building. South Street Grill, your home for Arrows football.
Welcome back to Arrow Arena. Brandon Wells and Chris Mowry up here in a Priest Dental broadcast booth. And JV coach and assistant varsity coach Keith Vipperman joins us. Coach, real quick, I know we got you here. Tough one tonight against Lex. What's the key for the Arrows?
Well, you got to stop Cordell, you got to stop Fogel, you got
got to stop 70. They're all coming at you. So we got to have a good end at the other end too tonight. So we can make that happen.
Okay. You guys had a big win on Tuesday against Clear Fork. How was practice the rest of the week?
Practice was good. I think they're really looking forward to compete and get in this game, especially after the Massillon game. You know, we could come out and have a similar type of game. I think it's going to be real interesting.
Last question. This is a huge rivalry. What would it mean to knock these guys off here?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I think you would see pandemonium with the guys, you know, in the locker room, you know, just all throughout. So it's always a good win when you get Lexington, especially where they're rated and where they're at the top of the conference and everything. They have to beat it. They have to win tonight to get it. We had to share, so a little bit more minimum for our guys. You good?
Coach Keith Biberman joins us here in the pregame show. We'll be right back.
We're driving home the best experience you've ever had. With Chevrolet, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, find the ride that defines you. And our huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks is why you should check Bill Harris first. 3 brands, 3 convenient locations, 1 unforgettable Bill Harris experience. Dive into great prices, explore a better selection, and enjoy the best buying experience with us today. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust. BillHarrisDealerships.com.
Bo Lacey Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics. Experience you can trust done right on time. From siding to windows, decks, and bathrooms, Bo Lacey also is your go-to company for all your roofing needs. Whether it's your house or your business, we've got you covered. And don't forget to check out the new Hover 3D app so you can see what every exterior home project will look like.
Welcome back to Arrow Arena. 5 minutes, 36 seconds to go on the pregame clock before we get this baby tipped off. I'm Chris Mallory. That's Brandon Wells. 3-man crew tonight. BW Jake Berger to join us as well.
We needed a big man in the booth.
Well, we're 2 little guys out of beyond the arc. We're going to feed it down to Jake on the block. You're joining us on the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network presented by Sarver Paving. Hey, let's get a quick look at the conference standings. The reality is, we talked about it in this set. If Lexington wins, they've got an outright clincher here in the OCC tonight.
Yeah, Lexington at 10-1, Senior 8-2, Worcester 6-4. Senior and Worcester play tonight. New Philly and the Arrows right in the middle at 5-5, and then Madison at 1-9, and West Holmes having one of their worst years in recent memory at 1-10 in the OCC.
Official watch location for all of Arrow Athletics is none other than the South Street Grill. We thank them for their support all season long. Sean and Carly Little and their team have an amazing restaurant down at the South Street Grill. Go check it out. Jake, I see you nodding your head. You've been there.
Love that place, man. That place is awesome.
Jake, I have a feeling you can put some food down.
Absolutely, man. You put anything in front of me, it's going down.
Pave the way forward, brought to us by Sarver Paving. The freshman BW 59-55 winners over Lex, and then the JV low-scoring contest 39-35 winners as well.
Yeah, good. It's always good. You want that winning culture, and when you win the first 2 tonight, it kind of sets the tone for the varsity, gets everybody excited in the crowd, and we're ready to rock and roll.
The injury report brought to us by Goldberry Roasting. Hey, they're going to have the injury report in baseball. What do you got up there? There's got to be Goldberry tea in there.
There's some tea in here. Yeah, I still wait for that Goldberry Yeti.
Well, tell them right there in that camera. They're looking at you right there. Pete Cooper, Doug Cooper.
Pete, Douglas, come on. What's happening, man?
Look, I got the 9-time Natty champion right here, Ohio State Buckeyes.
Yeah,
BW's got the Cleveland Indians right there.
The three-time world champion, right? 20 and 48 and 06, I think, or something like that. I forget. I don't remember the first one. I wasn't alive for any of them. That's all I know.
That was a long time ago, 1906.
My dad wasn't alive for any of them.
119 years ago is a long time in anybody's book. Hey, let's get a quick look at the Ashland Arrows player profile. None other than Tyler Sauter. Recently, as of this week, inks his name to attend Ashland University to play DB for the Arrows.
And Jake, he's going to play in the News Journal Classic.
Yeah, man, I'm super excited for him to play in it. We always look for athletes, and a Division II football player is more than welcome in that game for sure.
If he
I
shows
just
up,
hope he has that handlebar
I was
mustache.
just going to say, if he shows up with that facial hair, he's got time to grow it.
If he does, he's an automatic MVP. I'll get him a trophy.
The Tyler Sauter's favorite teacher, Mr. Wazowski, we've seen that several times. He likes swings, I can attest. We've taken that young man to BW3 several times, and that boy will put about 24 of those babies down. Likes Call of Duty, and his role model is Dad. And his goal was to play college football. That goal is a reality, as he is going to go right down the street to Ashland University and bat it up for the Eagles.
Well, you're all right. Glad to Ford AU and my employer as well.
Time for a look at the Pancake Social. That would be known as the Sarver Paving Student Section. You know what a Pancake Social is, Jake?
I do not.
Yeah,
but
I
that
don't
sounds
either.
delicious.
It does sound delicious, I agree.
We do talk a lot about food on this show, Jake.
And Jake, you're going to learn as you join us. There's 2 public schools in the public school kids in the booth today, and 1 private school kid. So we'll let the private school kid tell us what a Pancake Social is.
There you go.
I have a lot of inappropriate responses, none of which are going to come out on the air. But yeah, I have no idea what a Pancake Social
They're all
is.
dressed up. They look nice down there. They've got seniors, the big bobblehead looking things down there. So yeah, thanks for Sarver Paving presented the student section all season long. Time to get a quick look at the keys to the game brought to us by Sarver Paving as well. What do you got, BW?
Well, look, for the Arrows, it has to be consistency for 4 quarters because against Massillon last week, we played great in spurts, but we couldn't put 4 full quarters together. And I'll ask Jake, Lexington has a lot of size out there. How are the Arrows going to battle against them inside?
I think what the Arrows need to do is get back on defense. Lexington really likes to get that defensive rebound and just make a long outlet pass for layups. That's kind of how they beat Senior High last week to put themselves in a position to get a conference championship. So getting back on defense, make or miss, is going to be big for the Arrows, I think.
Quick thank you to all of our season-long sponsors who make these broadcasts possible. Sarver Paving, Hedstrom, Ashland Eye Care, Whitaker Myers, Brace Dental, Wickham and Hess, South Street Grill, Goldberry Roasting, Andrew Bush Law Office, Chamber Systems Inc., Truly Inspired Paper Company, Valley Transportation, and Midway Restaurant, Simonson Construction, Bill Harris Dealerships, Frank Smith Insurance, Connery Manufacturing, BB&C Car Care, Cobalt Banker Ward Real Estate, Jenny, Truax Printing, and Bo Lacey Construction. Jake, that is a lot of sponsors that make Arrow Athletics possible.
That's a lot of support, and I really love seeing that for high school athletics, for
It's
sure.
absolutely awesome. Just under 20 seconds to go on the pregame clock until we get this baby announced to the home crowd, and the Chandler Systems Inc. presents the national anthem. We'll be right back on the other side after the national anthem is presented by the Jazz Band. Packed house inside Arrow Arena tonight for senior night. We give thanks to Tyler Sauter and Jackson Aber, the 2 lone seniors for the Ashland Arrows high school basketball team, as well as the members of the swim and dive and cheerleading and several others. Time to get a quick look at the starting lineups presented by Truly Inspired Paper Company for all your paper needs, from wedding invitations to business cards and everything in between. Truly Inspired Paper Company offices in Ashland and Loudonville.
Well, you got a little different lineup, right? Because you got Jackson Aber in there at forward, alongside Tyler Sauter, so the 2 seniors out on the wings, Pax Ediger and Gabe Baith who have just been phenomenal this year at the guard spots, and then Nathan Bernhard at the center spot, and they do have their work cut out for them on the glass. Jake Furr joining us up here in the Priest Dental broadcast booth, and we talked about it, Jake. One of my keys also was the defensive glass, and it's going to be, Nathan Bernhard and all of these guys. It's going to have to be a team effort on the defensive glass, all 5 guys hitting the boards.
Yeah, I think Lexington, when they played Madison the other night, they had 52 rebounds and 26 were on the offensive glass.
Yeah,
so that's a lot of second chance points. You gotta box those guys out, man.
The other thing for Lexington, too, that they've got guys that are in that starting lineup that could start for a lot of teams in the OCC and in the region as well. It reminds me of football. There were several arrows in this fall that could have started across the board at other schools. And when you're just deep, you're good, right?
Yeah.
And, you've just got a litany of people that can fill in spots and whatnot. So 8 minutes to go, or 8 minutes on the pregame clock presented by Comfort Control in the first quarter here. The reserves being introduced here to the home crowd. And BW, we got a packed house. This is the most people I've seen inside Arrow Arena all season long.
It really is. There's a lot of folks here, and it's kind of standing room only, multiple media outlets. I mean, it seems like everybody between Richland County and Ashland County that's interested in basketball is here tonight. Look, the Arrows are going to have a tough one. There's no way around it, guys. Lexington comes in here 16-3, and the Arrows are not bad, right? 10-7. Everybody wants to see the Arrows in Ashland, as far as Ashland County goes, take down Goliath. And it's an opportunity to keep them from clinching here. You don't want a team to come onto your floor, into your home arena, and clinch the conference championship against you, so you have a chance to play spoiler. And that's always fun. There's no pressure on the Arrows here tonight.
The other thing about leading to so many people in the stands, let's be very honest. These are the 2 schools in the conference that really don't care for each other, right? The rivalry here runs deep into the mid and early 70s, and it has been that way for so long. And hey, it's time to get the Lexington and Ashland game just about underway. Senior Tyler Sauter being introduced to the home crowd. There you saw the Ashland Sports Booster Club All Sports President Joe Reed there on the fan cam. I think he's going to watch this one back later. Look at that. Dr. Sturry up there smashing that sucker. That's pretty
Matt
funny.
Trukovich, my barber, right there, is sitting next to Mr. Sturry.
Matty T in the house.
Matt Trukovich is a fantastic barber if you're looking for one downtown Ashland.
And you can be the official barber of Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network if you like.
Jake's thinking, what have I got myself into?
I love it.
Plug right there, man.
That's right.
He's going to be busy on Monday.
He is. He's a barber here locally. They're all closed on Monday. So Tuesday he'll be smoked. Hey, starting lineup for the Lexington Minutemen. Number 3, 7 Allen. Number 5, Latrell Hughes. Number 11, Gavin Husty. Number 22, Braden Fogel. And number 22, Ghost Party Go, Joe Condell. And again for the Arrows, Gabe May, Tyler Sauter, Reed Emmons, Pax Ediger, and Nathan Bernhardt. And we have a lively one in here tonight, folks. That hometown crowd is on their feet. Cheerleaders, the Quiver, the Arrows student section is packed. Tip-off brought to you by Linway Restaurant and Team Colors, as always. Arrows decked in white with orange trim, and the traveling Minutemen and their away purples decked in yellow. Presented by Linway Restaurant. Tip controlled by Lexington. 7 Allen has it. We're underway here inside Arrow Arena. First quarter brought to you by Comfort Control. Today's officials also brought to you by Valley Transportation. Charlie Reinhauer, Kirk Lieber, and Ryan Bowers.
It's loud in here already, guys.
Sure is. It's the way I prefer it. Pax Ediger, Jake, I don't know if you've seen him play yet, but he can really fill it up, getting just under 20 points a game for these Arrows.
No, I'm excited to see Ashland play. I haven't seen him yet this year. Really excited to see him play now and in the district semifinal when they get there.
Looks like we're going to have Bernie and Caudell, at least on this end of the floor, checking each other. That ought to be a good physical match. Both of those guys not afraid of contact. Bernie isn't in the lane of the painted area. He's going to go up through Caudell, off the glass, and in. CDMore.com. Big shot converted by Nathan Bernie Hart, the first 2 points of the night. 7 Allen's a dangerous player. I say that, and there he goes right to the glass. And there's a rebound by Fogel, smacked on the top of the melon. He gets it converted, and he'll go to the stripe for a Condor Manufacturing toss.
Another offensive rebound. And that's kind of the game plan that we talked about keeping those guys off the glass, and they get a second chance point right there.
Yeah, I don't really care if you're playing 7th grade, high school,
Doesn't
NBA.
matter.
You get that second chance opportunities, and basketball teams are going to make you pay for it. Fogel's attempt is up and good. He shoots it at 52% on the season from the stripe. Minutemen take a 3-2 lead here early in the first quarter.
Jake, you've seen Lex with Fogel and without, and you know he missed the first half or portion of the season. What has that transition been like for them?
It just makes them deeper. I mean, they are extremely deep now. They got 2 guys that's coming off the bench that could play for anybody. You know, anytime you add that first team All-Ohio talent, it makes a difference.
Long rebound secured by Gabe Baith, and the Arrows want to push it. It seems to me that is exactly how Lexington wants to play. Get it up and go, but these Arrows want to play the same way. A little mid-range jumper from Bernie. Short. Connell. I think he's going to be a tight end. Wouldn't you expect so, Jake?
Yeah. I think he's already signed or committed as a tight end. Can't sign yet, but that's what he's going to all his camps for in the summer is as a tight end.
And again, those guys always love multi-sport athletes, and he's definitely got the ability to play multiple sports here at this level. And that size for them, they're in a little 1-4 high. Arrows playing man-to-man like they typically do. I thought we might see a little more zone from the Arrows tonight because Lexington has a couple guys who can shoot it okay. Legrand and Husty can shoot the basketball well, but they're not the best three-point shooting team as Seven Allen drains one from the corner, right? He's a streaky shooter. I talked with Coach Hess about that. He said, if he gets going early, he can light it up.
Jackson Aver getting the start here on senior night along with Tyler Sauter. Jackson starting in lieu of Reed Emmons, and as I say that, Emmons coming off the line, and Aver with a 2-pointer in the middle of the lane, 6-4 Lex.
Nice floater there by Jackson, really well done.
It's a tough shot there in the middle, so close to the rim, and floater, that's kind of shots you see at the next level too.
Bernhardt now guarding Fogel. That switch now finds Tyler Sauter on the big man, 6'5", Braden Fogel.
They got the switch they wanted on that pick and roll.
Long rebound going to be controlled by Aver. Up ahead to Ediger off the glass. He gets that thrown and it hits the snare drum of the jazz band.
We're going to take a look at that on the Sarver paving replay because that was a legitimate block right there.
He is one of the better defenders that I've seen play so far this year. Just a kid who can guard almost all 5 positions. Latrell Hughes is a real deal.
When you got a guy like that on the floor and you don't need all 5 guys to score, boy, he's a valuable asset for this Lex squad.
Bernie, he's not a bashful man. He'll take it. He'll convert it. Boogie more for Bernie. 5 for the game, and the Arrows take the lead, 7-6.
BB&C car care 3-pointer, your first of the day there for the Arrows.
4 minutes, 35 seconds to go in the comfort control first quarter, and Tyler Sauter down on the block against the big man, Joe Connell.
Against Reed.
Full.
Yeah, Reed with good help on the backside.
Husky with a travel. Don't bail him out. Oh, they did. They called it on the arm. They'll go to the line for 2.
I think Reed got him. We had some backside help, but then the rotation didn't come from up high early enough to get down to cut off the driving Husty. Is it Husty or Husty? I always said, yeah, I thought so.
Husty's first is up and rattles around and gets that one converted. BW, you forgot. Just because we have a guest means you are still required to be a homer for the Arrows and agree with my points when I make them.
Wait, did you make a point? I wasn't listening.
Yeah, it was a good clean block or a travel. 1 or 2. Second one is up by Husty, no good, and Seven Allen with that glass.
Well, yeah, that offensive board that Jake was talking about, how good Lex is. And there's a mismatch right here. Mouse in the house.
Oh, baby. Good job by Baith, and here we go. Up to Ediger. He's going to let that BB&C car care 3 go. Rattles around. Bernie back taps over to Sauter.
Get it outside.
Here we go. Baith. Back to Sauter.
Easy. Reset. Get your bearings.
Gabe Baith is a really, really good shooter, Jake. You'll see it hopefully on display tonight. When he gets set and the shoulders are square, he is deadly.
And Gabe, a multi-sport athlete as well. Had a great season in football.
Little behind the backs, little stop and pop from the foul line. Doesn't get it to go, and Hughes pulls down that glass. Still 7-7 here in the comfort control first quarter. Yeah, here's a triple.
Well, we're fortunate because he can knock that down, and Emmons was late on the closeout.
Sauter going to let a triple go on senior night. Doesn't get that one to go. Still 7-7. Not finding a lot of nylon here on either end of the floor so far. Bernie on 7 Allen is a mismatch.
Well, and there it is on the backside, and Baith had Vogel. And they got away with it.
Bernie gets in there, mixes it up with the other big men, and pulls down that rebound.
That's an overdrive right there. And the turnover turned into points going the other way.
That's 5 now for Allen. He's got 5 of the 9 Lexington points, and the Minutemen open up a 2-point lead with 2:45 to go in the Comfort Control first quarter. What's your strategy, BW? You want to run with these guys, or slow it down a little bit?
Heavens, no. No. I mean, that would not. I mean, everybody has a different strategy, right, in how they approach some of these better teams. But no, I would be trying to slow it down. And
Vogel playing back tap against himself. And there he is, burning with a huge board through a little left bow that was not called, unfortunately. Uh-oh, from Antarctica! Bucket bang for 3. And the Arrows take a 10-9 lead.
he's deadly when he gets his feet set and his shoulders square.
That was pretty. That was right on line the entire time. It's like a Steph Curry shot. He could have turned around and just walked away. That was going in as soon as it left his hand.
Under 2 minutes to go. As mentioned, the Arrows with a 1-point lead, 10-9. 7 Allen into Caudell, and he is going to get fouled. He was being ridden like a horse by Faith, and he's going to have one more shot at the strike.
This is a tough assignment tonight for Gabe because they're going to run that pick and roll, and they're going to try to put Gabe in a tough situation because he's so much shorter. And Gabe's a strong kid. Don't get me wrong, but if you're giving up 6-8 inches, it doesn't matter how strong you are.
It's kind of interesting. They're switching a lot of stuff too. So it looks like Lexington's trying to get that matchup where they just get that switch that they want and put that guy in the post.
Substitutions here for the Arrows. Garrett Davis and Grayson Bates. Joe Caudell at the Connery Manufacturing strike for 1, and that one is headed no good. Tyler Sauter pulls down that rebound. Arrows trail the Minutemen by 1, 11-10. Little different lineup. We don't see this one all that often, Jake, on the floor here. Are these 5 for the Arrows? Usually we've got one of either Baith or Ediger to run point guard. And
Ediger's in there.
Yeah, Ediger is. You're right. Arrows content to play well beyond the arc here so far in this possession.
Well, you saw how Lexington just jumped that with both defenders out there. And I think maybe the Arrows might need to do that defensively when we see that high screen coming.
Sauter left hand. That's pretty. He gets that one to go. 2 points for Sauter, and another 12-11 1-point lead for the Arrows. Approaching 1 minute to play in the Comfort Control first quarter. 7 Allen has just made this Lexington squad so much better and so much more dangerous.
Yeah, when you have a true point guard, that's kind of what they missed over Kate Stover's senior year. They didn't have that true point guard, and they didn't even get out of the section.
Good job by the Arrows, and Reed Evans comes up with that steal. The Arrows want to push. Ediger has it out on the corner. That's going to be a foul on 7 Allen, his first of the night.
It's a nice job by 7, though, to slide over. Even if he gets called for the foul there, that's okay. You know, I'm not sure if that was actually a foul or not, but Gabe Baith going to check right back in. Tyler Sauter, who I think has played the whole first quarter, going to take a rest.
Grayson Baith going to take the ball side out of bounds right in front of the Minutemen's bench. On the floor for the Arrows, Emmons, Baith, Davis, Ediger, and Baith. Baith squared. How about that?
Little staggered screen down there trying to get Baith open, but Pax runs and drives to the basket.
And he got an outlet pass to one Hughes, and that goes out of bounds. That'll be Lex basketball.
Right there is what Jake was talking about as well, getting back on defense, and good job by the Arrows.
Yeah, they handled that very, very well. I mean, he had that pass there, but the hustle to knock that away is big. I think that's going to be kind of a key to the game for him.
We got the 5'9" Grayson Baith dealing with Joe Caudell. That's a mismatch, and the Arrows commit a foul here as that ball was down low on the block.
Well, we've got a few fouls going here already. 4 on the Arrows in the first quarter. You got to be careful with that. Jackson Aber is going to check back in with a Sid Sud substitution. I still don't know what a pancake social is.
Sounds like what the Arrows did every Friday night, right? That offensive line is pretty
true.
Good,
yeah, we invented the Bernie push, not the tush push. He was a one-man wrecking show. Here's Husty for 3, doesn't get it to go, but Hughes and Aber fighting. That looks like it's out on Aber.
That's the right call. Got to hold that box out a little longer down low with your midsection and your backside and push, push, push.
Arrows hanging tough, up by 1, 12-11 with 21.7 ticks to go in the Comfort Control first quarter. There's Hughes, a little floater, doesn't get it to go, and Arrow's going to, maybe no, darn it. And
they are relentless.
Going up. Man, that is a big shocker. Lexington and a dagger for the Arrows.
Lexington is relentless on the offensive glass, and Jake was right. They will rely on their athleticism and their speed to get back if they have to. And right there, you got extra opportunities, and the Arrows had not secured the basketball, and all of a sudden, 3 or 4 of our white jersey guys are running down the court. You got to stay in there the whole time.
Bernie going to check back in.
It helps that they kind of have some lanky guards out there too, and Husty, even though he's not super lanky, he's one of the best rebounding guards that I've seen so far this year.
First one up and no good. Bernie pulls down that big rebound. We're under 10 seconds to go in the first quarter. Arrows got lucky not with that careless pass there. Luckily, going to need to get a shot off, and that's Ediger with a tomahawk toss from the three-point line. Arrows trail the Minutemen 13-12.
Dealerships where great prices meet an even better selection. We're driving home the best experience you've ever had. With Chevrolet, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, find the ride that defines you. And our huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks is why you should check Bill Harris first. 3 brands, 3 convenient locations, 1 unforgettable Bill Harris experience. Dive into great prices, explore a better selection, and enjoy the best buying experience with us today. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust. BillHarrisDealerships.com.
Bo Lacey Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics. Experience you can trust done right on time. From siding to windows, decks, and bathrooms, Bo Lacey also is your go-to company for all your roofing needs. Whether it's your house or your business, we've got you covered. And don't forget to check out the new Hover 3D app so you can see what every exterior home project will look like when it's finished. Scan the QR.
If you want to join us inside Arrow Arena and sponsor the fan cam next year, this is undoubtedly going to be the biggest and best segment that we have. My partner, Brandon Wells, is a kid in a candy store with this remote control when he figures out how to run it.
I need an illustrator. I think it's because that guy right there with the glasses and the light brown shirt, that's Dr. Peter Slade. Yeah, his son is one of the drummers in the jazz band, a professor of religion over at AU.
Can we get a telestrator?
I don't know. It's a good question.
I got a guy.
Last time we asked for something, it worked.
Mysteriously shows up when we make a request. 13-12, Lex leads the Arrows. An incredibly good contested first quarter by the Arrows, and there's Bernie going up on Connell, and he says he went straight up. Referee disagrees. Bernie going to the line for 2.
That was strong.
That's exactly what I was thinking too,
That's
Jake.
a Division I tight end that he just went up against. He
Knocked him backwards.
Bernie has gotten stronger.
Look at the size of the trunks below the waist. It is incredible, the size of Bernhardt, and he still moves this well. He's a dynamic football player, to say the least, and not bad on the hardwood either. Bernie gets both of them to go. 7 points now for Bernhardt, and the Arrows back on top by 1, 14-13.
Second quarter brought to you by Spring Smith Insurance Agency for all your insurance needs right here in Ashland. Clarity to your insurance needs since 1950.
Well, we talked about Lexington, Jake. You said they got some long, lanky guards that can get out and move. You know, Hughes is as fast as anybody. Seven Allen's as fast as anybody. And the other Hughes that's on the bench right now is equally as fast. And these guys can really pick him up and put him down in a hurry. And it allows him to bail out on the other end in a hurry. Reed Emmons for a triple. The Arrows take a 4-point lead, 17-13.
BB&C Car Care three-pointer right there. Don't walk, keep your car running smoothly with regular oil changes at BB&C Car Care on East Main and Claremont. Long three, Legrand. The Mansfield senior transfer.
That was a big sequence for the Arrows. They forced a contested shot over there, got the rebound, pushed it up the court, and knocked down a 3. I mean, that's a really good style to play in this one.
Pax Editor running point guard duties. Gabe Baith playing off guard here, but he does get the ball back in his hands. Being checked by 7 Allen. Hughes on Ediger is a really good matchup to watch all night long. Bernie down on the low block on Connell. He goes right to the glass, doesn't get it to go. Bernie fighting. Good shot by Bernhardt, keeping that ball alive, and the Arrow's going to have a wide open 3 by Emmons. Just misses.
Oh, Bernie!
Fight hard. Arrow's going to pull out.
I'm all right with that.
Here's Baith.
I'm all right with a great hustle. Into the piano. Great effort. We're going to give that our Bo Lacey hustle play of the game right there, Chris. I know that's off in our post game, but
I love it.
Nathan Bernhardt with our Bo Lacey hustle play of the game, built by Bo Lacey Construction. Experience you can trust, done right on time. And Nathan, boy, just going after it, guys.
I'll give you one B to go along with that, and that was the effort Baith had there on the baseline trying to save it. Arrows up by 4, 17 to 13, 6 minutes, 5 seconds to go. Here's a triple from LeGrand, no good. Pulled that rebound down, does Edgar, and the Arrows want to run.
Well, Euro step and great defense on the backside. Good help right there from Dontrell Hughes. And the Arrows kind of dodged the bullet.
We've seen that Euro step be so effective off the fingertips of Edgar, but he's got trees in there that tonight.
And some, like Jake said earlier, some really lanky guards to kind of combat that. Good
Here's
look.
Emmons again from the corner pocket, triple, doesn't get it to go. That is going to be Ashland basketball. Matt Fogel tries to kick it back behind him, but it hits the baseline.
We'll take it.
We'll take it every time we get an extra possession, especially against these guys.
You can kind of see a little bit of the body language for Lex is not very good right now. You can see a little bit of frustration because they're not knocking down shots on this end, and they're kind of giving up some offensive boards on this end. So.
Maybe a little hangover from their big loss to Lutheran West, Jake.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think they expected to lose to Lutheran West, who's not a bad team by any means, but
Faith, little runner inside the lane.
not a great offensive possession right there. No ball moving around the perimeter, no inside touch.
Offensive glass by Caudell, back up and in. That's the thing we've highlighted. We just cannot allow to happen if you're an Arrow supporter.
Well, the truth is, when you look at Caudell and Fogel, their strength and their core is so big, right? I mean, they are just so strong. They're hard to move. Oh! Garrett Davis with a heck of a nice move.
Baith, triple.
That would have brought the house down right there.
It would have brought the announcer's voice up. Still 17 to 15. Now it's 17 to 17. Really good look by Seven Allen to find a wide open Gavin Husty.
And that's just a technical breakdown of not getting back to where you're supposed to get back and then fanning out.
Edgar triple. Yep. Give that to him. That's Edgar's first nylon 5 of the night. 3-pointer. The Arrows back up by 3, 20 to 17.
Arrows can shoot it.
Arrows
I
can shoot it.
like what they can do out here.
Yeah, you get a hot Arrows team in a tournament, you could be in trouble.
Yeah.
Good teams can fall to this squad.
Nobody in the paint for the Minutemen. Caudell working down on the block outside of the paint. Good job by Garrett Davis working on that box out on Caudell. Hat tip to you, young man. That's one of my pet peeves, Jake. I can't stand when people don't box out.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
Did a
my
really good
goodness,
job.
from Greenland. Just about. That's the 51st state, Jake. Greenland coming. Arrows still up by 3. Now they're up by 1. Caudell found by Seven Allen.
I would consider a timeout here. You're up 1. Your guys are a little tired. You've been playing this pace, maybe just to settle everybody down, but, you know, here we are.
A couple substitutions for each squad at the table. Going to check back in. Bernie, another triple. Fogel pulls that rebound down. 3 minutes, 30 seconds to go until the half. We'll have the Jazz Band uninterrupted coverage here. The Bill Harris dealerships will present the Jazz Band here at halftime inside Arrow Arena on senior nights. Guys, if you'd have told me at 3:15 to go in the second quarter we're going to be down or up by 1, I'd have said I'll take it.
Well, if you had said it was 20 to 19, that's the other part that's surprising. Low scoring so far.
Well, that's an offensive foul right in Bernie's chest, and the boys are starting to play a little more physical. I love it.
This is getting physical. This is old school basketball right here. This is what I love.
Yeah, this is back what they used to do in the park in Hayesville and the park in Plymouth.
Yeah,
And
get
well,
some
they
battles
never
down
did.
low.
Yeah, they never did this in Cuyahoga Falls.
You have no idea what I grew up with playing with guys like Landon Hackham and Robbie Eggers, all D1 guys. You don't know. Cuyahoga Falls basketball was legit.
Oh, he didn't take it. Here is driving to the goal, left-hand floater up and in by Latrell Hughes, his first 2, and he is one serious athlete. Abler, 4 points.
That all came from Gabe Bate, dipping his eyes down the floor and making a solid, strong pass.
Arrows having quite a night here in the first half. They still lead by 1, 22-21 on the shell-shocked Minutemen of Lexington.
I'm not sure I'd go that far.
I just did. Uh-oh, triple. Bad closeout, Husty.
You got to make him go to the basket on that, Garrett. You got to get even farther out. That's not good enough on that closeout, guys.
Lex back up by 2. Careless pass by Gabe Baith. He got away with it.
Jake Furr joining us up here in the Priest-Dental broadcast booth. And you know, Jake, you're seeing one of my pet peeves, right? Which is closing out on the defensive side and making sure that you're getting a hand in somebody's face with some intensity, too.
Yeah, with a team that shot it so as well as they did at senior high, I mean, you cannot let them get high.
Especially Husty, right?
Yeah, once they shoot it with a little bit of confidence, it's tough to stop these guys. So they haven't knocked down a whole heck of a lot here in the first half. So you saw a kid pass up a 3-point shot over here in one possession, go to the bucket, and I think that's why they haven't made a whole heck of a lot right now.
Caudell active, stays active on the glass. Big outlet pass to 7 Allen. We got a foul. I got to tell you guys, it is so loud in here, didn't even hear the whistle.
Well, great job by Gabe Baith on the hustle to get the initial block, but then we just couldn't, again, come up with the offensive glass. And there is a bit of a turning point right now. I think you have to close out halves well as a squad. It was 20-19. Arrows were up, and now this is a tenuous moment, I think, in the game right now.
Husty's first from the counter manufacturing stripe is converted. Husty now with 7 points. He averages 11, so they're getting some scoring from some other guys big here in the first half, while Fogel hasn't gotten going, some other guys as well. 7L held in check. He's got 5.
The low-scoring game, period.
Yeah. Husty converts both. He's up to 8 points, and the Minutemen up by 4.
This Minutemen squad averages 65 a game. The Arrows also right at 65 a game. But right now, it looks like the first team to 50 was going to win this one.
Got away with that pass there. Wow. Wow. Holy Toledo. I did not have a country ready to call that one. Edgar nails it.
Well, on the other side right there, you cannot give Pax Edgar that much time and space.
You'll have him in your contest next year, Jake, that's for sure. Good job by the Arrows. Nice clean out, and Baith with that rebound. The Arrows have an opportunity to take a lead. Baith goes into the land of the Redwood Pines.
He got bailed out on that one, I think, to be honest. Like, maybe the big guy over here with the green.
Yeah, I mean, Joe played it well with his hands straight up, but I think he got shoved in the back by Latrell and kind of just shoved right into Joe. So, I mean, he kind of hung him out to dry.
Right. That is who they called it on. They called it on
ball
Latrell.
out of bounds. I thought they might give him foul shots, but no.
Well, I think what Jake was saying was they pushed him before he was starting to go up.
Okay. Bernie, little cream sky hook, doesn't get that to go.
Yeah. Not quite a sky hook.
Well,
It's as close as we've seen in a long time.
thank you for bailing me out, because I was just going to say we can call it whatever we want, because nobody under the age of 45 knows what they just saw. Evans goes up high for that rebound.
Well, I preached that jump hook, that baby hook going left and right. It should be in everybody's arsenal, whether you're a guard or a big man.
Edgar picks up that dribble, and Reed Em is top of the corner, top of the key for a triple. That one's going to hit the saxophone player out of bounds. 42.7 ticks. Reminder, Bill Harris presents the Jazz Band. Uninterrupted coverage here at halftime. I'm Chris Mowry. That's Brandon Wells. Our special guest is Jake Furr. You're watching on the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving.
Don't forget to reach out to Jake Furr if you're interested in sponsoring and helping out with the News Journal Classic, the All-Star Game. Looking for folks to help, and all the proceeds go to Catalyst.
Jake wrote one of the best articles I've ever read in my life, Brandon. We'll get into that here in the second half.
My dad worked at the News Journal back in the 70s as an editor and a writer. Long time ago.
The article I'm referencing is how to deal with athletics in the high school if you're a parent.
I loved that as well. People should go on the News Journal, just Google that. That was great.
It used to be pinned to his Twitter handle. I don't know if it still is, but it could be. Here's a triple by Lexington. My goodness, Husty's hot. He's got his season average of 11 in the first half.
Can't rotate off of him.
Baith, that had the little runner, goes, doesn't get it to go, would have counted had it went. Arrows up, or trail the Minutemen 29-25. Guys, I'll start with you, Jake. First thoughts on the first half?
I think the Arrows have done what we've asked them to do and get back on defense and not allow those long outlet passes. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 outlet passes that kind of got behind them, but it didn't hurt them at all. They're shooting it really well. I like kind of the long range shots that they're taking. Lex isn't knocking theirs down right now, so and Ashland's taking advantage of it, keeping this thing within reach.
The undefeated Ashland High School Jazz Band right here. 29-25. You see the stats on the first quarter, first half, excuse me. Field goal percentage, three-point percentage. Guys, the thing that sticks out to me through 2 quarters of play is the rebounding. And Jake, you talked about rebounding, how big a deal that was going to be in Lexington, up by 6 boards through 2 quarters.
But it's still close, and I think Ashland has kind of kept them off the offensive glass for the most part. There's been a couple second chance points, but nothing that really kind of jars out and changes the game, I don't think.
BW?
First 2 minutes of this third quarter are critical for the Arrows to not let Lexington stretch this out. I'm impressed with the only 1 turnover for the Arrows. As a guy who played point guard and coach, like that number obviously stands out to me. And thanks to Bob Jarvis and company down there for doing all the stats for Lexington. It is a super helpful tool to have as a coach and as a broadcaster, obviously, to do some analysis. But the Arrows, the way we play and push the basketball, only 1 turnover, but Lexington also only with 2.
Look, the story of this game so far, in my opinion, is Gavin Husty. Without Gavin Husty's 11 through 2 quarters, this game is totally different. On the other side for the Arrows, you've got 6 points from Edgar, 7 points from Bernie in the first half, and you don't have a lot from Bates. We expect him to get going, and then Jackson Aber, a nice find with 4 points as well.
It's a tough assignment for Gabe because Lexington has such great guards. Nice look underneath, and we got caught on that flex cut and a nice backdoor screen on the backside. The Arrows not communicating defensively right there.
And here's something we haven't seen yet on a made basket. Lexington goes to that full court press.
And the Arrows on senior night go back to that starting lineup with Jackson Aber in it.
Bernie says, no, you can go to the line for 2 on Fogel.
That's a good foul. I mean, great foul. I mean, Fogel's only shooting in the low 50s from the free throw line. You don't want to give up a free basket right there. Make him earn it.
Yeah, he struggled mightily when he first came back from his wrist injury, and I think he's got it going lately, but, make him earn them. You don't give up a free layup in this game.
That's right. Fogel with 2 tosses coming. The first one is...
hey, that was off the what?
CBWar.com bank shot is available from the foul line for Fogel.
Banks are open at 8 o'clock on a Friday night.
My bank is always open on the app. 7 points now for Fogel. He's got all 4 of, here. And BW said the first 2 minutes, and Lexington scored the first 4 points.
They had a little half-court pressure and a zone look from Lex here.
Big swing pass from Baith over to Edgar cross court.
Now into a man.
There's another turnover. Turnover number 2 on the night here for Ashland.
Now they score here, and you might get a quick timeout from Coach Hess.
Allen and the Minutemen setting it up. Connell, no good.
That's an offensive goal. That's a goaltending, I think, on Bernie. That ball was still on the rim, and Nate grabbed it. Yeah, you don't see that very often, but that ball was still on the rim, and I think that's the right call, guys. I know people don't necessarily want to hear it. It was a good effort by Nate to go up and grab it, but the ball was still on the rim, I believe.
That was a close one. You don't see that call very often at all in high school. So I mean, when you get some big time athletes out there who can snatch it off the rim, that's a good call.
First time I've heard that or seen that call at Arrow Arena ever.
Just like that, the Minutemen are up by 10 here, just under 7 minutes to go in the Spring Smith third quarter.
Yeah, 6-0 round to start this thing. It's and like you said, the first 2 minutes, maybe the first minute and 10 seconds were big for this game.
Tyler Sauter going to inbound the ball, and Pax Edgar going to run point guard here on this possession. And the half-court set for the Arrows.
Well, whatever we just ran right there, Edgar just goes right around Latrell Hughes.
And Latrell Hughes is a heck of an athlete. It tells you the kind of move that Pax Edgar just put on him. On the block, Connell is on Sauter, and Sauter's given up about 5 inches.
Well, that's a tough assignment because right now you got Bernie on Fogel.
Reed Emmons going to pull down that glass. No foul call. I have no idea how, but none.
It looked more like friendly fire, I think, to be honest. Oh, what a take by Gabe!
Gabe Baith on the scoring column here in the third quarter. 2-pointer in, and he's going to the stripe. You'll see it right here on the Sarver Paving replay. Gabe Baith goes in and gets harmed on the way. He'll go to the stripe here for 1, and that is foul number 1 on Gavin Huston.
What a response from the Arrows, though, to give up 6 points in the a minute 10 seconds, and then come down and make 2 really nice plays in the paint.
Jake, 3 of the 5 starters are football players, and you see it right there. Sauter pulls down an offensive glass. Here's a wide open Emmons triple from the side. Doesn't get it to go, but back tapping a lot. Oh boy, here's Fogel going to go up and lay it off the glass, and Fogel is not here in the third quarter.
Reed's getting some good looks out there. It's back to just a little flat on that three-pointer from outside. He's just got to release a little higher.
Bathe. Here's these outlet passes we were talking about. Jake, you said you wanted to see him get get out!
That's a push.
That rebound.
Pax got away with a push. The only problem with that is we just didn't get the rebound, right?
Yeah.
The Arrows did, but what a block by Bernie.
Wow. I mean, his head was touching the backboard on that. He got up there for that one.
That's pretty cool
That's
to see.
some athleticism.
Again, you don't see that every day in Arrow Arena.
You don't see that every day anywhere.
That's a good point. Fair. Sauter working with Caudell. Bernie is having a night to remember here on the defensive end, and he's playing like a man possessed. Bernie gonna go on for a flush. Doesn't get it to go.
He wanted it.
Caudell, nice job at transition basketball by Seven Allen and the Minutemen. Caudell now up to 10 points.
Dangerous spot again right here for the Arrows. Double-digit deficit. Oh, that's a tough look. Husty, and that's a push by Tyler. And really, Gavin Husty with a wise defensive play was kind of playing coy, right? He was sort of laying back and kind of daring him to make that pass.
Yeah. I mean, that was a big 4-point swing right there. Missing that layup and then giving up the layup on the other end. Those are kind of buckets that make or break this game. Right?
Full timeout on the floor called by Jason Hess.
The most trusted and efficient construction company in the region, with a long history of doing things the right way from concept to completion. Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design-build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to simonsonconstruction.com. Come visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official watch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in the bar area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland, steaks, seafood, hand-patted burgers, vegetarian options, salads, and a huge kids menu. Something for everyone in a completely renovated, historic building. South Street Grill, your home for Arrows football.
5:04 to go on the clock in the Spring-Smith third quarter. The Minutemen up by 10, 39-29 on our hometown Arrows, and BW's got the fan cam out. Who do you got again? There's the Edgars holding court. Emmons right there. We know Jake, it's a small town, right? So we know everybody.
And that's what I love. I love those small towns that you can just look over in the stands and say, hey, I know that guy.
Yeah, I know that guy too. Oh, they're waving at me. Hi, nice to see you.
Yeah.
Lexington basketball. Fogel well out beyond the three-point stripe, and they move it around. Fogel with a heck of a cut. And Fogel and Sauter introducing each other to themselves there under the goal.
Near side official calls the foul on Tyler.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
There's a little bit of contact in there. A little bit, but I wasn't sure who.
But there was also no advantage, disadvantage kind of gained, and that's usually what they teach you and talk about all the time.
Look, those two guys are just looking at you and say, look, man, our best sports football, just let us go here underneath the hoop and let us play.
They've let them play today. The officiating's been really good.
I like it. This is back to like 90s basketball. It's not quite the level of the Bad Boys Pistons, thankfully, but we're playing a little bit rougher, like the old Big Ten days back in the day.
Well, there's always an overcorrection, right? There was a huge overcorrection to the Bad Boys, and then, it goes back and forth.
Flush. Fogel off that pick and roll. Fogel's on fire here in the second half. He's got 11 for the game.
No backside help. You got to jump, maybe double up on the ball handler there, and not allow him that free release to make that pass off that pick and roll.
Arrow's going to have to get high here and start making some shots. There's one just inside the stripe by Edgar. He's got 10.
Because your options on that pick and roll are, either both guys come and jump, you could hedge, but when you got a roller like that and some good, really tough offensive guys with some size, you got to just double the guy, the ball handler.
I don't know about you, but I didn't play with anybody that could ram it back in the day and flush it at will like Fogel can.
No, but
tell you, in Hayesville, he's going up, and he ain't flushing. I promise you that.
I mean, they had it right there too. Again on the pick and roll, but Fogel just didn't roll far enough. It was a great lead, great pass. Just and he tapped his chest. And that was my bad. I saw that.
Still a 10-point lead here at 3:30 to go in the third quarter for the Minutemen. Bernie working on the block, this time being checked by Fogel. Big A Baith gets tossed into the student section. Alex Grissinger, the shortstop for the Arrows, thankfully was able to corral that basketball, BW, or I was going to holler E6.
It's pretty good hands over there by my man. Yeah, I liked it. I'm all right with that.
Yeah, let's hope he doesn't have any E's that I have to call out here in the spring. He's a sure-handed. He's going to Lake Erie College to play baseball.
Nice.
Gabe Bates, first one up and rattles around, no good. Bates, a heck of a foul shooter. We were talking about this a little bit ago. Bates shoots at 81% on the season from the strike.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
He'll be in your game next year, too.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I mean, he's going to make some from the volleyball line in that one.
Yes, he will.
With how free-flowing that thing is.
He's a heck of an athlete. Yeah, he's got some options, and he can definitely play at the next level.
And more important than anything, gentlemen, he's got about a 3.8 GPA.
Well, that'll help you play at the next level.
It will.
Coaches want to know they can trust you, that you're not going to flunk out, you're not going to have any problems. They don't have to have you at a study table all the time. That's real.
And more important than anything I've said yet, he's a better young man than he is an athlete.
Now they got the switch on this that they wanted. They've got Caudill on Baith. The backside help comes, but it was too many guys. That's bad communication by the Arrows on that defensively.
Caudill skies to get that board. Husty going to find that one off of the glass with the right hand. CBWard.com. Thanks, shot.
Defensively, you have to communicate more on that. Like, you can't have three guys on the backside coming to help. Somebody's got to stay home.
Wow, we had a lot of shenanigans there. Luckily, the Arrows didn't get called with anything. Bernie, nice offensive glass, puts it back up and in. Bernhardt now with 9 points.
Good job, big fella. Well done. Talk. They got to talk.
Arrows still playing a loose man. Bernie not really checking anybody. Although he is. It's on Colton Jugovic.
Whoa.
7 Allen with a heavy shot.
Stopped on a dime, though.
Looked like my sand iron. Sauter for a triple. Yeah, baby. Sauter gets it to go. He's got 5. And the Arrows close it up to a 6-point lead.
That's a big shot right there. Boy, did they need that one. Arrows just hanging around, trying to keep it close going into the fourth quarter. Give yourself a shot.
Under 2 minutes to go in the Sprang Smith third quarter. We got a good one for you on the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving tonight. Husty, no way. Oh my goodness, the kid is on fire tonight. That is 16 markers for Husty.
That was
a big boy shot.
Filthy move, really, to get himself open for that shot.
Arrows need a response right here. Whether it's a 2 or a 3, doesn't matter. They need a bucket.
Now Reed got doubled on that and missed the pass back to the corner on the guy who left. Gabe was open for the 3 on that possession.
Emmons going to go in, doesn't get it to go, but he's going to step out of bounds. That'll be Lexington basketball.
I thought Bernhardt could have taken advantage there of that kind of mismatch. Jugovic is more of a soccer player. Didn't really pick up basketball until late. And, giving up a lot of strength. I thought he could have kept that and kind of dominated the paint on that one.
Speaking of soccer, you've talked about people going on to play further. How about Madison's own Taylor Huff?
Yeah, signed a pro contract.
That's pretty amazing.
That is awesome stuff.
2 people from Richland County now playing professionally. Huff with soccer, and then obviously Cade Stover from these Minutemen down there. Catching passes from C.J. Stroud and the Texans. There's no offensive rebound there, Brandon. Nobody boxed out for the Arrows.
Well, that's tough. Yeah, your margin against a team like this is just so slim. We talked about it.
Oh, good job by Bernie. Working, and here's
Baith
with that one.
Easy.
3 ball from the absolute corner. I tell you, Bernie's motor is on fire tonight. Wide open, Gabe Baith triple. Good job by Baith on the other end, tracking that one down. The Arrows going to have 3 possessions in 1. Baith, not afraid of anything. Takes it to the glass through the trees.
They need a stop here. You got to get a stop on this possession to keep that momentum heading into the fourth.
17 seconds to go in the third quarter, and the Minutemen going to pull it out, hold it for 1 here. Minutemen lead the Arrows 46-39.
Got a foul to give here in the quarter.
Now you got a mismatch. You got Allen on Bernhardt. LeGrand going to go up with a floater, doesn't get it to go. Thankfully, Bernie didn't get another goaltending call. It sure was. 46-39, Lexington.
Bill Harris Dealerships, where great prices meet an even better selection. We're driving home the best experience you've ever had. With Chevrolet, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, find the ride that defines you. And our huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks is why you should check Bill Harris first. 3 brands, 3 convenient locations, 1 unforgettable Bill Harris experience. Dive into great prices, explore a better selection, and enjoy the best buying experience with us today. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust. BillHarrisDealerships.com.
Lacey Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics. Experience you can trust done right on time. From siding to windows, decks, and bathrooms, Lacey also is your go-to company for all your roofing needs. Whether it's your house or your business, we've got you covered. And don't forget to check out the new Hover 3D app so you can see what every exterior home project will look like when it's finished. Scan the QR code.
It's the fan cam, but we don't have a zoomed-in fan cam yet, BW, but we got a lot of people there. There, we can go ahead. Uh-oh. What do we got?
I don't know.
Oh, Josh Schubacher, a graduate of Hillsdale High School right there in the dark brown beanie or stocking cap.
We need to lose him then.
No, he's a good guy. He delivered one of the hardest hits I've ever seen. He literally knocked a kid from Smithville out on the football field. Before helmet to helmet was a thing, he launched like Ronnie Lyon.
Who's this guy up here? He looks like he can crack some skulls, man. The guy in the top row.
Well, he's coming down quick off the top rope to
That guy
deliver a
looks
leg
tough.
kick like Macho Man.
Don't mess with that guy.
46-39 Lexington. It'll be Ashland basketball underway here in the Comfort Control fourth quarter. We need that one to go. Ediger doesn't get it to go. Working hard. These arrows are on the glass. Good job. Great to see. Getting on the floor.
Oh, nobody had it yet, but I think that was for player safety. That's okay. I'm all right with that call. A lot of guys on the floor. That's where you get a lot of concussions in basketball right there, is those loose balls on the floor.
I've seen this guy officiate games for probably 10 or 12 years. He is a fantastic official.
It's a great crew, Chris. Our Valley Transportation officials have done a great job.
Charlie Ridenauer, Kurt Lieber, Ryan Bowers blowing the whistles here tonight. They have done a fabulous job. 7-point Minutemen lead with 7:40 to go in the Comfort Control fourth quarter. Foul's not really much of an issue, guys. A couple players have 2, one with 3. Not a big deal on either side yet at this juncture of the game. 7 Allen checking the pressure in the basketball. He's going right to the glass. That is a big boy move on Baith, and Allen gets it to go. His first bucket of the second half. He's got 7 on the night. Floater. That is a difficult shot by Ediger. He's now got 12.
Yeah, that's not one you want him taking all the time.
No. Oh, great shot.
I'll take it.
Yep.
Lex might look to convenient here to slow it down a little bit, guys. Run some clock. Bernhardt and Vogel checking each other. 2 future Division I big-time football players. I would assume Fogel's given up on the basketball thing, right, Jake? I'm assuming.
I believe so. I think there's kind of some rumors out there that he may enroll early at his college of choice. So I don't know if he has a basketball season next year or not. But just kind of depends on the situation that he's going in. But yeah, I don't think he's playing any AAU.
Full timeout on the floor.
Visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in the bar area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland, steaks, seafood, hand-patted burgers, vegetarian options, salads, and a huge kids menu. Something for everyone in a completely renovated, historic building. South Street Grill, your home for Arrows football.
After email saying, what are you doing putting me on the fan cam? Maybe it'll be the fan cam presented by the News Journal next year. Yeah.
Taylor Clay and Andrew Zirkle we just saw over there on the fan cam.
There's a Blair.
The Abers.
Yeah. Jordan Blair played back in the days of picket pocket tee with Trey Smith. He could really play. He was quite an athlete here.
Aaron Bates of Whitcomb and Hess sponsoring our in-booth guest.
4 quarters long. Jake Furr. You're jinxed. Lexington looks for a pass down on the block. They get it. No open shot. They're convenient just to kick it back out and set a play again. Lexington running clock up by 7. Arrows playing man-to-man, I should say. But the Minutemen, Brandon, content, to just kick it around here and look for an open look.
Yeah, they can be patient. You can be patient with a 7-point lead and 6 minutes to go. The hard part with that is you still have to stay aggressive. You know, it's selectively aggressive.
Neither team with a single foul here in the 4th quarter. So if that game comes quick, Arrow's going to have to foul if this lead stays where it's at. Fogel, man possessed down low, gets a rebound, puts it back up and in. And Fogel with 13 points.
No body on him. Nobody put a body on him at all. I know he's a large human, but you still have to try to bump him and chip him almost like you would him coming on as a defensive end.
That might be a potential position for young Braden Fogel. Oh, boy, that'll take it. Bernhardt going to the stripe, and not before he puts 2 in. That's 11 points for you going to the Condor Manufacturing foul line. I feel like I'm in Lexington High School with all these Boo Birds.
Yeah, I think that was a great call, though. He was still moving a little bit under the basket. I wish they would put that half circle on there.
Too.
I think that would be a really good thing for high school basketball. But
makes it easier for the refs.
Absolutely.
That one off the board on the drive to the basket, brought to you by CBWard.com. Coldwell Banker Ward Real Estate. Right here in Ashland for all your realty needs. They'll take care of you.
CBWard.com.
CBWard.com. Oh, that's a double.
Yep. I think they've kind of gone into this deliberate offense a little bit too soon. I'm not a huge fan of it.
Yeah, you still want to be aggressive. I agree, Jake. You got 6 minutes. If you can be patient and still be aggressive, but
don't get out of your rhythm and out of your momentum either.
Massive possession, and right there, 7 Allen steals that ball, and they called a foul before Allen goes towards the goal. And Bates just made sure, guys, and said, you're not going to lay it up and in on me.
Yeah, but you can't put the ball out in front of 7 Allen like that on such a huge possession where you have an opportunity to potentially cut it down to a 1-possession game.
That was a huge momentum turn here.
Gabe knows he hustled back. I'll give him credit for hustling back, not pouting. You're never going to get that from Gabe. He's always going to give you effort.
He's got a high motor.
Nice job by Grayson to hedge and show up on that one.
Yeah, because I think he had the roll on that one, but he couldn't see him because he's got 2 guys right in his face.
That's exactly what we talked about earlier.
Caudell sets the pick for Fogel.
Don't reach. Don't reach.
Nice defense by the Arrows. Allen goes down, Bates goes down, but the Arrows have numbers. Nice pass to Sauter. Oh, he doesn't get it to go. Arrows will retain possession.
Oh, what a pass.
That was beautiful. That was a beautiful pass.
Tyler just looked over to Pax and said, my bad. Great pass.
Give him a half of an assist.
Yeah, right.
Seiler will be the inbounder. Gets it into Bernie, little turnaround Jay, no good, but Bates fighting hard, attaboy, working hard for his team, but outlet pass to Caudell, and Bernie goes up. That's a foul. Yep, that is a foul, I agree, but he did not get a chance to throw it off the glass. 3 fouls now for Bernhardt.
And again, a good foul. In that situation, good foul, make them earn it. Don't give up a layup that would put you up, 8 points. I don't think there's any easy buckets in a Lex and Ashland rivalry.
No, there's not. There's no easy tackles in the fall either. Connell at the line shoots it at 62%. He had 8 in the first half. He's now got 3 so far in the second half. Arrows trail the Minutemen now by 7 points. Caudell looking to make it an 8-point Minutemen lead.
Man, just a minute ago you had the ball down 6 and an opportunity to cut into it, and now you're down 8. And it's a big possession here. They're all big at this point. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
I mean,
they sure are.
Captain Obvious here.
Bernhardt working on Caudell, goes left hand off the glass. Nope.
I love the aggressiveness, but yeah, probably a little pump fake, get your guy in the air, And really, realistically, Nate's your third option offensively, you know. And so in such a huge possession, back-to-back possessions now, we've gone to Nate on the inside, and this is a good defensive interior team.
Edgar getting his money's worth, trying to come up with a steal, but Husty able to get that one away, and Lex looks to reset. Caudell's just a good player. This is your prototypical looking athlete, but he is a tremendous athlete.
Yeah, I think on the Bernhardt possession down here, it was just a little bit, I mean, he had a great post move, just a little bit of a hesitation. If he just kind of continues with his move right into a shot, I think he had it, but kind of gave that up a little bit too soon, I thought.
Latrell Hughes going to inbound it on the baseline line for the Minutemen.
Hughes missed Fogel on that one. He had him open underneath. Double, hands up. Oh,
There's
good
a
look.
LeGrand triple. Fortunately for the Arrows, heavy.
That would have been a dagger.
Yes.
You would have been down 11. Good look to the corner.
Arrows need a bucket in the worst way right here.
Yeah, you got 4 timeouts. This is a must-score possession, I think, down 8.
Here's a Edgar triple. Yeah! Huge answer for the Arrows. Timeout, Jason S. We'll keep it right here. The Arrows now down by 5 with 3:06 to go in the fourth quarter. Let's go back to the News Journal Classic, Jake, and let you kind of have the floor to talk about that again in case viewers weren't joining us in the pregame.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the longest running All-Star games in the state. I think the state North-South game is a little bit longer, but 46 years. You know, it's my maybe 4th year running it.
Yeah.
John Spencer did an incredible job with this game since the inception, all the way for 40 years, and you know, I'm super proud to take it over. And it's, you know, the News Journal isn't as wide coverage as it used to be when we had like a 6-person sports staff. So it's just kind of our way to honor the you know, the entire area. We get Ashland, we get Knox County, we get Morrow County, everywhere. So it's really nice.
It's awesome. Jake Furr is joining us from the News Journal. He's been with us all 4 quarters.
And Jake, if people want to get involved, how do they contact you?
Yeah, just look me up on Facebook or email me, jfurr@gannett.com.
2 M's, 2 T's?
2 M's, 2 T's. Yeah, shoot me an email if you want to get involved. I'm more than happy to have you.
Arrows and Lex in a
Getting
scrap.
a little chippy.
Yep.
Oh,
they
job
don't call
by
it.
Faith.
How about that was out of bounds?
Gonna have a foul called on Caudell right there.
What a scramble.
I don't know if you guys saw what I did down here. Fogel was on the deck,
Yeah.
and he was kind of biting at Bernhardt's ankles, and I think Coach Hamilton saw the same thing I did, and he's going to let his big man know. Can't be doing that, especially at this time of the calendar.
That was dangerous play.
College recruiters were holding their breath. Arrows down by 5. Huge possession for Ashland right here.
Just trying to do a little too much right there was Pax. And I know there's some contact on that, but that's what they've been allowing tonight. So you have to recognize that and just play within yourself, and just a little too much right there.
Arrows feature their 2-2-1 full court press. Seven Allen, the recipient of that, and Caudell in the middle. Oh boy. Oh boy. Martin looked like he just abused Tyler Sauter.
Well, the ball don't lie, as they say, so we'll take it. The ball went out of bounds. Again, they're letting them play out here. And if you're Tyler, though, I know there might have been a foul there, but you got to chin that basketball and eliminate any potential that ball gets ripped away from you.
I'll tell you what, I don't know what Markel Martin's plans are, but if he wants to get involved in the UFC, he's got the body to do it. That is one put-together young man.
He is a darn good running back and a really good left fielder.
He sure is.
That's right.
His freshman year, he played center field against the Arrows, and I think he went 3 for 4 and knocked the fence over twice. Bernhardt back out to Faith. Yep. Arrows down by 2. 11 points for Faith and the Arrows in this basketball game with 1:37 to go.
In this game anymore, guys, when you can shoot the 3, you're never out of the game.
Absolutely.
Time for the home crowd to get on their feet and support these Arrows here on senior night. Just under 90 seconds to go. No freebies.
Great look, great pass. And that was Latrell Hughes drive and dish, and that was a huge play of the game so far for Lexington right there.
Give Caudell credit, too, for cutting to the goal. Here
we're driving home the best experience you've ever had. With Chevrolet, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, find the ride that defines you. And our huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks is why you should check Bill Harris first. 3 brands, 3 convenient locations, 1 unforgettable Bill Harris experience. Dive into great prices, explore a better selection, and enjoy the best buying experience with us today. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust. BillHarrisDealerships.com.
There you get a look at Coach Scott Hamilton and the Lexington Minutemen, who I will just promise you they did not expect to be in this situation with a 1-point lead and 68 seconds to go in the comfort control fourth quarter. But here we are in a packed Arrow Arena on senior night. Tyler Sauter and Jaber getting their last opportunity here in an OCC conference battle, and they're doing all they can here to give the home crowd something to cheer about. This is one loud environment. Let's be honest, every game should be like this in high school sports.
Absolutely. I love this packed house. It was pretty smart to have the mini cheer, mini dance there on this night, because everybody's out here.
Student section underneath the quiver is loud and proud right now in Ashland. And the 2-2-1 full court press, the Arrow's going to have to hurry back, and they do.
Got a foul to give, and there it is. Right, there's the foul to give.
That's second foul on Edgar, so no problems foul-wise here for Pax. Good news. On the floor for the Arrows, Bernhardt, Sauter, Baith, Edgar, and the other Baith.
When you look at the guys you want to foul, Husty actually surprisingly not a good free throw shooter. And Fogel also with a low number, although some of that was early on. Latrell Hughes not a great free throw shooter as well.
You're going to play keep away, cat and mouse game. Are these
go foul him right now. I think you got to extend this game.
He's fouling him. They're not calling.
He's trying.
What is he doing? Let him call it.
Yeah, you don't want to foul Connell.
No.
Now you got to foul.
Come on, guys. He's pulling his jersey. Blow the whistle.
So he's trying to foul. You're right, Chris. And
he calls a timeout first. They give
Hamilton trying to foul out here. Now, again, we will say they've let this game be physical today.
Timeout on the floor.
Give him a timeout?
They called timeout. Coach Hamilton did a full timeout. I am in disbelief. We'll keep it right here. But the Arrow's trying to foul for 24 seconds on that clock, guys, and no official blows the whistle. I'm really, really surprised. BW, you're in this huddle here. Your coach, Jason Hess. What's your message to your guys here with 33.6 to go and down by 1?
Well, I'm putting Bernie on the inbounder and trying to get a 5-second call or a deflection, but then I'm fouling as soon as it gets in. I'm trying to force the ball to Husty. I mean, I know he's a great shooter, but when you got to look at the numbers and play the game, right? And you say, well, I want Husty or Hughes to catch the ball and get them and foul them. So you're going to run a double at them right away. If you leave the basket open and they make a great pass and score, okay, you're down 3 and you got the basketball.
Everybody is a candidate to foul except, frankly, LeGrand, and I don't know if he's on the floor.
LeGrand was just put in for
there you go.
So
Husty or LeGrand's an 85% foul.
What are you doing here, Jake?
I agree. I think you make it very tough, but Bernhardt's on the bench right now. You should make it very, very tough to get the ball inbounds. But yeah, you look at Husty, you look at Fogel, and you foul them.
I think he's got Bernie on the bench to play offense, defense, so he doesn't get into the 4th foul. That's my guess.
Husty going to trigger it in, and he does get it into LeGrand at an 85% foul shooter.
Well, they got it to the guy they wanted to get it to. Yeah. Good job by Coach Hamilton. Well designed, good work, good inbounds pass. Sometimes you tip your hat, somebody makes a good play.
Right.
Yeah, that was a chess checkers move right there, and Hamilton got it to work out perfectly for him. And going to the line is LeGrand. 3 fouls now for Garrett Davis. LeGrand converts his first point of the night, and the lead swells to 2.
Well, the interesting thing is, you put Bernie in for the rebounding here, but you did just lose one of your best scorers in Garrett Davis. So you're a little bit of a trade-off as far as perimeter game.
Offense, defense happening here for the Minutemen. Markel Martin checks in. Braden Fogel checks out. And that appears to be Hughes. Jake at the scorer's table going to check in?
Yeah, it looks like he's going to come in for LeGrand. A little bit better defender, longer length.
LeGrand's second toss up, and guess what? That's converted The Arrows now trail by 3. LeBron checks out. Hughes checks back in. And we've got a timeout, a 30-second variety by, I believe it was Scott Hamilton who called that foul. All right, I ask you again, BW. 32.1, no time off the clock. Two foul shots converted. Now you're down by 3.
Well, you just need to get the best possible look you can, and that might sound like coach speak or cliche, but you don't need a 3 here yet. You got 32 seconds and 2 timeouts. You'd like to get an inside look to try to draw some attention, and then maybe get the ball out to Pax or Gabe on the outside, because honestly, offensively, our game is predicated on the 3 by Pax and Gabe.
And keep in mind, only 2 team fouls for Lex. So if they get in a position they don't like, they get hacked real quick.
And Jake, you know, they're going to obviously defend the perimeter well. A little full court pressure here as well.
Yeah. Don't let them run get the ball advanced with no time going off here. I think it's a smart move.
And you don't need to wait too long. You want to be aggressive here and kind of extend the game as much as you can.
Normal starters on the floor for the Arrows are going to give Edgar that backwards goal, and he gets it to go. Timeout, Jason Hess. Arrows trail by 1, 56-55, 20.5 to go. Going to have a 30-second timeout. Grayson Baith going to check in. Garrett Davis going to check in. LeBron comes back in. Fogel comes back in. Lots of substitutions.
Well, I'm glad my secondary camera was on that basket because I forgot to switch cameras, so you at least saw it out there. Thank goodness. That's a happy accident is what Bob Ross would call that. Meanwhile, you're down 1. Now, here's again where, you know, they can run the baseline. They got the length of the court. You get 20 and a half seconds. You're going to try to trap the first pass probably. And if you can't get a steal there, then you're going to foul.
Yeah, I think go for the quick turnover.
Yeah.
If you can't, then maybe, I don't know, maybe 15 seconds. Wait about 5 seconds and get that foul. But go for that big steal right away and see what you can do.
Lex is in the bonus. They'll go to the line for 2 on the next Arrow foul. Lexington has only committed 2 team fouls, so Arrow's not yet in the bonus.
Oh, we had him.
That's a foul on LeBron.
Yeah, you're right. I saw what you saw there, too. He had 7 Allen on a curl cut, and 7, if he had caught it, was going to be off to the races.
Yes, yep.
But they did get it to Legrand, who is their number 1 option on the free throw shooting percentages. That's the guy they wanted to get the ball. So good patience down there. You had options in a well-designed play by Coach Hamilton and company.
Legrand is Mr. Consistent from the stripe. The Carter Manufacturing foul shot is up, and nothing but nylon. 3 points now for LeBron.
And now here's where you get into the fouls to give, Chris. You got 2 fouls to give if you're Lex after this. You want to let them get it past half court and, run some clock and then foul. And then a couple seconds in on that next one to foul as well.
Well, let's hope LeGrand bricks this one, and the Arrows are going to be down by 2. His toss is up. Forget it, Chris. That didn't happen. Now the Arrows trail by 3, and LeGrand perfect 4 for 4 tonight.
I really like Jacob LeGrand's game since he was over at Mansfield Senior. Really enjoyed watching him develop. He's been good since he started.
I saw him put 35 on us in a freshman, as a freshman in a JV game.
And there's one of those fouls to give right there. Latrell Hughes picks it up. Only 4 seconds ran off, though. But again, this is actually where, in my opinion, you're going to foul again here a couple seconds in. You don't want to foul, obviously, when the Arrows are shooting a 3, but you also don't want to let the Arrows shoot a 3.
Sauter going to get that into Gabe Baith.
As soon as he starts to attack, you're going to hold in
12 seconds. 10 seconds. He's getting held right there, guys. He's getting held.
Well, that's been let go. We should have called a timeout right there, probably at the top when Gabe got stuck.
Arrows have one in their pocket. I just looked. Brandon, you're right. 1 timeout left. 58-53 Lex.
Now you got to get a steal. You can't give up any points, and Legrand's going to get it and get fouled. If he makes one of these, it's pretty much over. Make sure you stay tuned for the Jenny.com post-game show. It'll be brief at this point. Thanks to Jake Furr for joining us all evening from the Mansfield News Journal. Make sure you check out the Classic and contact Jake Furr if you want to chip in to help towards a great event that all proceeds go to Catalyst.
And this is an honest take. This isn't an announcer guy. This is a parent of a high school athlete that has now since gone to college. Go to Jake Furr's Twitter. Jake, what's the Twitter handle?
@JakeFur11.
And you read that pinned tweet. That is an article that should have won, I don't know, Pulitzer or something, because that is a fan, a former athlete, and somebody who's in gym after gym and field after field and volleyball after volleyball. Read it and take it to heart.
You can foul again here. Yeah, they do. Smart foul. That's on the floor.
I know, but I'm just hoping, man.
Just hope it goes in. It's hard to call it.
I know, right? You'd have a storm session on the court.
Honestly, if you're Mansfield Senior here, you don't even have to play defense.
They don't play defense.
I'm sorry, Mansfield Senior. If you're Lex, you don't have to play defense on this one, really. But you don't want to give up a three, or you can foul if you want. That's an option too, because you don't want to necessarily put the arrows at the line. I think I'd let the arrows go ahead and get it in and see what happens.
Coach Hess going to draw up a play here with his squad. There you can see Coach Hess and the rest of the Arrow players. What I was saying though, Jake, I'll let you talk about that article, what it meant to you, and what kind of led you to writing that piece.
I just I learned of a local situation that, coaches didn't really want to go on the record about, and it just kind of fired me up a little bit. I wrote, I went to that, I wrote the whole thing, then I was like, I thought of it, went and sat on the couch, thought of another thing, went and wrote that, and it kind of reached a point where I was just kind of totally over it, and just tired of kind of the behind the scenes stuff that goes on. So, if you read it, you can really kind of pick out and know the story without really it ever going on the record, but just things need to change, man. That's all
It
it
needs
is.
to change, and it applies not only to that district, but many districts here locally that we cover, or Jake covers. There's a 3-ball by Islander. The Arrows down by 1 now, but unfortunately 0.9 to go on the clock.
They might put a little bit of time back on, but if they would, it would not be much, and I don't think they're putting any time back on that clock.
We'll show them the replay. No, never mind.
I got to hit that right away. Great job by Pax, and good play design to get him the ball in the corner.
Boy, if you
Right
could hit
now, it would take a
rewind,
miracle. You basically have to steal the inbound and shoot it at the same time.
if you could have rewind when Pax was at the top of the key and call that timeout, who knows what this game looks like? There's Gabe. I'm
Gabe
sorry.
who had it there, and you saw the trouble in coming, and you could see it because defensively they had shut down the drive, and now the Arrows were having a spacing issue on the far side, and missed that opportunity. It happens.
A special thanks to Applebee's Neighborhood Bar and Grill here in Ashland. They hosted a full team dinner, BW. That's really awesome of them for the boys last night. So thanks to Applebee's for all their season. The Janney post game's coming up, and then the Truex Sprinting Player of the game, along with the Applebee's gift card.
I think, although Pax has been great, 23 points, he's had this award a few times. I think our Truex Sprinting Player of the game might be the big fella for the Arrows. 12 points, quite a few rebounds, a lot of blocks. Jake, what do you think?
Yeah, he's kept Lexington off the offensive glass for the most part.
Arrows need a miracle. There's a tomahawk pass, and foul is committed by Tyler Sauter. Not going to matter. The Arrows are going to fall to the Minutemen by 1, it appears, and they are saying that is the contest.
Jake, I know you got to run to do some interviews. Your thoughts on tonight's game?
Man, I like the Arrows. I really like that team. I like the way they shoot it. Like you said, they're never out of a game when they can shoot the three that well. To take it to a 1-point game against the OCC champs is a big deal. Boy, oh boy, this tournament is going to be something fun, man. I am already excited for
And the
it.
draw is Sunday. Folks can read all of your stuff on the News Journal and the News Journal app. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it, Jake.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
We'll be
Thanks
back
for the
after
time.
this.
Simonson Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics, the most trusted and efficient construction company in the region. With a long history of doing things the right way, from concept to completion, Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design and build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to simonsonconstruction.com. Come visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official watch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in the bar area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland, steaks, seafood, hand-patted burgers, vegetarian options, salads, and a huge kids menu. Something for everyone in a completely renovated, historic building. South Street Grill, your home for Arrows football.
There's dealerships where great prices and an even better selection, we're driving home the best experience you've ever had. With Chevrolet, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, find the ride that defines you. And our huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks is why you should check Bill Harris first. 3 brands, 3 convenient locations, 1 unforgettable Bill Harris experience. Dive into great prices, explore a better selection, and enjoy the best buying experience with us today. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust. BillHarrisDealerships.com.
Tough one here on senior night. I'm Chris Mowry. That's Brandon Wells. We've been joining you all season long. Thanks to Aiden Chandler for the stats. I'll give those to you, BW. The Arrows with a valiant effort. I think anybody that said this was going to be a one-point game would have said, I'll take it. And Minutemen come out on top of the Arrows, 59-58 here on senior night. Special hat tip to Jaber, Jackson Aber, and Tyler Sauter as they were recognized here, along with a lot of other athletes, jazz band, and cheerleaders and whatnot here on a Friday night inside Air Arena, BW.
Yeah, Chris, this is one that these guys are going to feel, and they're going to feel this one, and they should, because you had an opportunity to beat a 16-3 Lexington team here at Aero Arena and just came up short. Valiant effort and hat tip to the Arrows for playing really hard, but there's no moral victories and there's no awards for second place. But I will say our Truax Printing Player of the Game, which I think it's the first time this season. Yep. Is Nathan Bernhardt, who had 12 points. What was he on the rebounds? I don't have my glasses on. How's 12. That?
Here, I got the contacts.
And 4 or 5 blocks and just did a great job on the glass and really pounded it in there. And
13 boards.
Yeah, 12 points, 13 boards.
2 blocks,
I think they probably missed a couple on that one, although thank you so much to Bob Jarvis and company, and just a great job for providing stats. But definitely a couple blocks and really played an integral role in the Arrows, both on the offensive side and the defensive side. So Nathan Bernhardt is our Truax Printing Player of the Game. For all your printing needs, go check out truaxprinting.com. Glad they are on board as a sponsor. We talked earlier in the game about the Bo Lacey hustle play where Nathan was involved and Gabe was involved. We had 4 or 5 offensive rebounds for all of your construction needs. Experience you can trust, done right on time. Bo Lacey Construction. Hustle play of the game. Oof, that's a tough one. Turning point of the game. That's a tough one.
I think for me, it's the start of the third period for Lexington. They go on that 6-0 lead. They extend it from a 4 to a 10-point lead. Yeah. The Arrows try to claw back. They do. I'm not certain if the Arrows had a lead again in the second half after that, but they knotted it up. They were down by 1. Obviously, that's where the game ended, but we just played catch-up the rest of the way there against Lexington. So my turning point of the game is going to be that hot start there in the third quarter by the Minutemen.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I think that's fair. I think that's right, too, Chris. Turning point of the game brought to you by Bo Lacey Construction. Experience you can trust, done right on time.
As always, you join us on the Janney postgame show. Check out Rich Sturry in Mansfield for all your financial needs. Hey, it's been a fun one on senior night. The Arrows fall to the Minutemen 59-58. Special thanks to Jake Furr, who joined us tonight. That was a lot of fun. I mean that. Go check out his Twitter handle and read that article if you're a parent of a high schooler or a middle schooler or an adolescent coming up in sports. It is well worth the time. Not only read it once, read it 3 times and let it sink in and enjoy your kids' activities and sports as they grow up. I'm Chris Mowry. That's Brandon Wells. Take us home, BW.
God bless, Godspeed, and go Arrows.